Radical.
Well, things aren't going too well for the Last of Us TV show. For those of you that don't know, they made a Last of Us TV show with Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal, based on the highly popular, successful video game series from Sony PlayStation. Now, years ago, I went on record for saying some nice things about The Last of Us 2, specifically how nice the graphics looked, the gameplay elements looked pretty enjoyable, but I admitted I didn't play it, right? So some people feel like you can't criticize a game that you don't play, but I highly criticized one moment in the writing of The Last of Us 2, and that was the death scene of Joel. Now, The Last of Us 2 was a story about, the clickers and post-apocalyptic zombie-type stuff, but it was mostly a story between, Joel and Ellie, the father-son dynamic. And then it becomes, after The Last of Us 2, after Joel dies, basically it looks like it's a revenge plot, and everything is the motivation for Ellie to get revenge for Joel's death. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's a story, definitely it is, but there's so many people that they were not fine with how it went down. It just made Joel look incredibly stupid to walk right into that situation in the story, to where he's brutally murdered with a golf club. Now, not that long ago, before that happened in the game, there was a series called The Walking Dead, to where there was a scene in the television show that many people understood and knew that was coming in season 7. I think the first episode of season 7, or it might have been the last episode, I'm not sure. It's been a ways back, where there was the character, damn it, I forget his name. I've not watched The Walking Dead in forever. But it was the longtime character from even the first episode, the pizza boy, who turned into the lover of the dark-haired girl. It's terrible. God, it's so terrible. How am I forgetting these names from The Walking Dead? I guess you can only hold so much in your head at one time. There's only so much you can hold in your head at one time. And for Glenn. Glenn was brutally murdered, not with a golf club, but with a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire from Negan. Okay? So after that brutal scene, a lot of people just walked away from The Walking Dead. And who didn't walk away from The Walking Dead after that probably walked away after, stupidly, the son of Rick, Coral, was offed, which was different than the actual comic series. So all the people that were saying, hey, they just have to follow the comic. Okay, Glenn couldn't live. Glenn had to die because of the comic. But for some reason, Rick's son had to die, even though that did not happen in the comic. Okay. Like, they couldn't make an exception and actually save Glenn. But anyway, we're not talking about Glenn. We're talking about The Last of Us. And since this has happened, a lot of people are review bombing it, I've read. And a lot of people have tuned out. A third, 30-some% of people, a drop-off in ratings from one episode to the next after that. And maybe some of those people might come back to watch the show after it settles down that Pedro Pascal, the actor and the big reason why he's so likable is it's Pedro. If it would have been another actor that wasn't Pedro, maybe, might not have been that big of a deal, but come on, it's fucking Pedro. Everyone loves Pedro. So, I would say most of those people are not coming back to the show. Not coming back. So that's just a drop-off. And there's one particular instance in the show, after that happened, to where made a lot of other people not come back around. And it's because Ellie, who is a biological female, somehow in some scene, I'm not really familiar with the story, so my apologies, she quotes, "I'm a daddy." So a lot of people were out that this biological female was calling herself, quote, a daddy, after her girlfriend was pregnant, Now, even though I'm a person that did not play The Last of Us 2 game, I played The Last of Us 1. I love The Last of Us 1. Even though I didn't play The Last of Us 2 game, and I haven't seen this show, am I qualified to speak on it? You can make your thoughts clear on that if you want to. to yourself or in the comment section. That's fine. Hey, that's criticism. Rick, who the hell are you to be talking about this? You didn't play The Last of Us 2 all the way through. You didn't watch the series. Who are you to talk about this? Well, I'm obviously seeing that the ratings are dropping off. And when people start leaving a show, that probably means a bad decision was made in the show. Now, did they have to kill Joel? Pedro probably said, hey, I'm only on the show for such and such amount of time because he's a busy guy. He's doing movies. He's probably doing other TV shows. I hold to it that they didn't have to stick specifically to the plot of the video game. All right? They could change it around a little bit. They could. They had the artistic creativity. If you knew the kill was coming, if you knew Joel was going to die, maybe they could at least made it a little bit different to where he doesn't come off as a bumbling moron that just walked into a bad situation. Maybe he could have died heroically. Maybe he could have died not to a golf club. Maybe it could have been something different. They could have changed the show around. They have the artistic freedom. But they made a mistake from the backlash from the Last of Us 2 video game. It's obvious that they made a mistake in the way they set up that Joel death scene. The death itself, okay, much in a similar way when Glenn, was offed in The Walking Dead. It's the way that it was set up. In both ways, you had a situation to where Glenn could have been heroic, maybe jumping in front of like a bat swing to his girlfriend possibly, or you could have had Joel being heroic in some way, shape, or form. But it's really not the fact that deaths happen. It's that when we take these great characters like Glenn in The Walking Dead and like, Joel, Pedro Pascal in the TV show that so many people loved and got attached to, you have to give their deaths meaning. You have to actually give credit to these characters in the story. Now, real life people might say like, well, in real life heroes die all the time in crazy ways and ways that aren't fitting to that character. Well, this is a story, all right? If there's a death, it should be a heroic death of these type characters. Now, also, there's another element to it here, is there's a lot of people that probably, they subscribe to the streaming network, I believe HBO, correct, is this on. And a lot of people, they didn't even play the video game. A lot of people that watch this show didn't even play the video game. Not every single person that watches this show played the video game. So maybe they didn't see that coming. So to them, it's not just a show for just the people that enjoy the video game, all right? It's not just for those people. It's for new audiences, which is one reason they made this show, to attract new audiences to The Last of Us. You had a second time to get it right. And you fucked it up a second time. After the first fuck up, after that, I know they said they want to stay very close to this series, but fuck that. If you see something didn't work the first time, and it got terrible, terrible backlash the first time, why are you going to insert a very lovable character like Pedro Pascal and do it again? It doesn't make a damn bit of sense. Now, to leave off here, I think in the thumbnail, I might have had an unflattering picture of Bella Ramsey. There's a lot of them. I could have even had her as a Miss Potato Head. Possibly. I'm not sure. And some of you might criticize me because of that, but, she looks like a potato. If someone looks exactly like a potato, what you gonna do, right? I'm sure she has great qualities outside of the show. Maybe she does. I'm not sure. As a human being outside of the show. But why did they put a potato in The Last of Us? In the casting. Looks matter, right? Okay? Why, out of all the people that probably applied to be in the show, they chose the fucking potato face? I don't remember Ellie, the character created from the Last of Us video game, looking like a potato. I'm just saying, like, put a little seasoning on here, some butter. She, potato. She looks exactly like a fucking potato, right? Reminds me of a funny joke from Robot Chicken. Orlando Bloomin' Onion. You remember that? Anyone watch Robot Chicken when it was on? It was a pretty funny show. But yes, that is all I got to say for this situation. Will The Last of Us TV show bounce back? Are a lot of people invested to see this? And I've seen video of her moving around, this really awkward, meek, weak-looking person with the potato face. I'm serious. Like, her head is probably like, 30-40% of her entire body. She has like gigantic head. Gigantic potato head, right? So who's going to take her seriously in her revenge plot to take on Abby? I know I wouldn't if I'm watching the show. I wouldn't be watching the show unless they change the story around a little bit. Yeah. People die, all right? People die all the time. In real life, on TV shows, yes. And it's not always heroic. But I hold to it. I hold to this. They made Joel look stupid, and then they killed him like a fucking chump when he should have went out heroically.